MicroPlastic by Calic Fair. Episode 9, Game of Soldiers. Recap. The Nibblers are on their way. Once again, Nibblers are attacking our characters, so let's skip the niceties and get right to it. With a simple knock, the door opens, and Zelda finally meets Mycroft face to face. Her initial shyness is replaced by her inner tartan punk neon-shaped personality. She's angry. She blames him. They talk to Cobalt. It's a decent conversation, but unfortunately it goes on a bit too long enough for the Nibblers to find them. 4 drones have spotted them, and they approach the roof with their red lights flashing. They're about to fire. Mycroft's radio is stashed in his backpack. His arms are protectively wrapped around Zelda. Now what? There's a sound that causes them both to turn to look. The 4 drones are approaching the roof. The red lights are on, which means they're in target mode, and they will begin firing at them in seconds. Mycroft fumbles for his radio, but as suddenly as they've arrived, the drones simply switch from red lights back to green and they leave again. It's very strange. There were a few moments of terror. Mycroft actually scooped Zelda into his arms to protect her, but it was over before it had even begun. The drones buzz off in another direction. Mycroft, how did you do that? Zelda asked. I didn't, he said. They still have their arms wrapped around each other. Zulies. This boy has the nicest eyes, she thinks. Why does he seem so much more real than anyone she's ever met before? I sent them away. How? I thought you weren't connected to the main system, Mycroft says. Cobalt informs them. The connection has been switching on and off. It is currently on. You saved us, Cobalt, thank you. Zelda looks up, trying to see into her own skull as she addresses him. When the system is on, the pinger keeps trying to ping you, Cobalt admits. You better keep it under control, you nuts and bolt in my head machine weirdo. Right, so, Cobalt, Mycroft threatens. I will behave, Cobalt says. Do you promise? Do you promise? Yes, Zelda. Mycroft huffs. I'm holding you to that, Cobalt. Gotta get Zelda somewhere safe. Zelda sighs. They could hear alarms going off in the distance. She realizes that yes, they really need to get off this roof. Here, Mycroft hands her a white sweatshirt and white sweatpants. Just go inside the door there and put that on. Lemons, Zelda exclaims. She's looking at Mycroft when she says it. What are you on about? He asks. Come on, girl. Get dressed so we can go. I can't. Cobalt might not be able to stop the next set of the buzzards who show up to kill us. Okay, fine. Zelda is back in minutes wearing different clothes. Mycroft stuffs her white dress into his backpack. This time, Mycroft hurries her into the black harness. Then he shows her how to adjust the black straps across her hips, and when she's finished, she ensures that the metal buckle at her waist is locked tight. She leans over and looks down. Mycroft, I can't do this. If I could just have some calmer, some powder? You need to keep your focus to do this, Mycroft says. I can't. Hey, come on, you can now. I can't. Let's try this. Some powder? I have something better. Yeah? He puts his hand on her forehead. Close your eyes. Very close to her right ear. Here we go now. A ship on board off a Liverpool liner. Way, hey, roll and go. In moments he has her laughing and feeling better. The singing causes a state of peace that she's never experienced before. Look so. We're going to sing our way down, he says. I've got just a song for it. He retrieves his radio and he places it near them. That sounds wonderful, it does, please, but I don't think I can do this, Mycroft. Come on, girl. Mycroft steadies Zelda near the edge of the roof. The rain has made the surface slick. The harness's dull carabiners dangle from the belay loop, glinting faintly in the neon glow from below. Mycroft clips one end of the rope, a sturdy weather line, into the carabiner, double-checking the knot with a quick tug. The other end is anchored to a rusted cleat bolted into the roof's concrete ledge. He anchored it by tying it to a heavy metal toolbox. He grips the rope with both hands, positioning himself as the belayer. He feeds the rope through a makeshift friction device, a worn metal ring attached to the cleat, giving him control over her descent. She leans over and looks down. Mycroft, I can't do this. Zelda begins to cry. Mycroft realizes how tough this must be for her. It's her first time outside of her building, and she must be frightened beyond belief. Alarms are sounding in different parts of the city, and Zelda is desperate for him to help her. I can't do this, Zelda says. Is there another way down, please? I just can't do this. Mycroft turns on his radio. We're going to sing our way down, he says. What's this music, she asks. And the music, it's me family. How? We play music instruments and we sing. You could learn music as well. With my mother, she teaches music. When we get back, it'll be grand. That sounds wonderful, it does. But I don't think I can do this, Mycroft. He can hear the fear in her voice. He realizes that he isn't as adept as his father with these sorts of things, and he can see that his attempts are not working. The music's a good idea, but she's never worked with it before, and worse, she's never been outside before, so she's starting to have a panic attack. If Cobalt starts zapping her with the pinger, Mycroft could have a full-on emergency here. When Mycroft had planned their escape, he imagined that this part would be difficult but doable. Now he realizes that with her in this state of mind, it just isn't possible. Mycroft looks at the climbing harness and looks at the rope. His mind is turning to come up with a new idea of how to get her down off this building. Maybe he can carry her down on his back? He's quiet as he's thinking, but Zelda takes his silence in a different way. She thinks that he's about to tell her to just do it and maybe force her, and she panics. She starts to hyperventilate. I can't, she says, I can't. I can, says Cobalt. I can. Zelda's eyes glaze over as if she's gone away. She grabs the ropes as if she's been rappelling her whole life, and she steps up on the ledge of the roof. Let's go, Mycroft, says Zelda. Cobalt. Mycroft thinks, are they starting to integrate? Effect that for a game of soldiers. Mycroft helps Zelda swing her legs over the side, her black Converse gripping the edge. She leans back slightly, trusting the harness to distribute her weight, her new clothes much warmer in the chill rain. With a deep breath, she begins her descent. Using her hands, she slides down the rope, keeping her arms bent to control her speed, while her feet press against the tower's slick obsidian wall. Her shoes keep making squeaking noises. Mycroft feeds the rope slowly, letting it slide through the friction device. His muscles tense as he lowers her towards the swing scaffold below. The harness creaks under her weight, the straps digging into her thighs. Ita, but it holds. Zelda's movements are deliberate, hand over hand, feet searching for purchase. I can, says Zelda. Cobalt, her silhouette fading into the misty night as the scaffold's rusted frame comes into view. A precarious target. Mycroft watches intently, ready to tighten his grip if she slips, the rope burning his palms a bit. Zelda's high tops give a final squeak on the glass as she slips down to the scaffold. At long last, the kafooty thing tips slightly, and she grabs the rope, unsure of how safe it is to actually stand on. Eee! She cries out, and then something occurs to her. Mycroft, how are you gonna get down? She finishes, and there's Mycroft right next to her, holding his backpack. Sam Boodles, you really can teleport. A zipped? It's not that difficult. Lemons, your pace. Zelda, are you back? Is it you? Her eyes are clear, and Cobalt has retreated. Mycroft, what if Cobalt takes me over completely? I don't want that. Wished. Now, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about that later. Non sequitur, Cobalt says. Oh, shut up already. Get out of my head. There's a small static charge that hits her, courtesy of Cobalt, and Mycroft touching her arm also gets pinged. They're both jolted, and Mycroft grabs her so she doesn't fall off the scaffold backwards. You feckin' idiot, Cobalt. You suicidal or what? Mycroft swears. Sorry, Cobalt offers. Mycroft and Zelda lock eyes, thinking it without saying it. Did he just say he was sorry? The glass of the window in front of them is already busted out, so it's easy for Mycroft and Zelda to climb through it. They're back inside the building, a dark corridor and a stairwell with stairs leading both up and down. He helps her remove the climbing harness, but he's tentative about it and shy, letting her unfasten the buckles. Stay here. I'll be back, Mycroft says, and he's gone, disappearing along with the climbing harness and the rope and the backpack. It's dark and creepy in the corridor, but Zelda has something else on her mind. I think that you're the one that doesn't have an identity, Cobalt, she says abruptly. I am outside of my programming, Cobalt says. I no longer have a purpose. I feel. But Mycroft has returned, and he hurries her down the steps. Confused, Cobalt finishes. Non sequitur. Where did you go? She asks Mycroft. I put the equipment back with other stuff in the garage. I have to carry it now. Does that mean you can just tell the port? Like anytime you want. Like, could you go home now? I can only go short distances. I'm only after learning. You're after? What? I don't understand your words sometimes, Zelda confesses. Look, so I don't understand what you're on about sometimes. Lemon begonies and the rest of it. Look, I learned to zip a year ago. It's still new to me. Well, why didn't you just say that in the first place? She laughs. I did. Let's go. Hey, we're still in the building. Won't we get caught? And no one uses this part of the building anymore, he says. They follow the stairs down several flights, and then Mycroft pushes open a heavy steel door covered in graffiti. Zelda gets a whiff off the air at street level. It's disgusting and rank, and she realizes something horrible. It occurs to her once again. She's never actually been outside of her building. Where were the outings then? Were those virtual reality too? Were they an illusion that took place inside the building? Before Mycroft can head off down the street with her, Zelda scurries away from him. She goes across the street to a massive shiny building with bright and inviting neon lights. He bites his lip because she's there before he can even turn around and see her go. Ooh, she's fast. What's in there? She asks. No, not in there. Mycroft and Cobalt both say simultaneously.
Stop. Zounds!